So we blew a transmission or something. It was bad. Welcome to another episode of our Great Loop Project boat that we bought in Florida and cruised home to Tennessee. On this series of videos, we do lots of DIY projects and we take small adventures on the Tennessee River. Alright guys, you have seen the clips a dozen times it seems like by now, and you're probably wondering what happened to our transmission in the boat. So we blew a transmission or something. It was bad. I don't know what happened. I don't know. The dipstick blew out of the transmission and transmission fluid is everywhere. Filled this whole boat with smoke. I thought it was on fire. So I'm missing the dipstick tube, or the dipstick. Transmission fluid is just everywhere. It was just all over this generator. It is all back here. All just everywhere in this corner here. It's all over the top of the port engine and in my hair. It was the very next weekend after we went on the trip to Sal Creek up the river. We wanted to go downtown Chattanooga, and that's what our plans were to do. We rented a dock downtown, and I was going to make another adventure video of downtown Chattanooga. We made it to the dam. Now, I did notice a slight issue with the transmissions just the one transmission, when we got back from the Sal Creek trip. I thought I had the problem fixed. I thought it was just a leakage adjustment from when I put the throttle controls in. So we proceeded to go this next weekend to downtown Chattanooga. Everything was fine with the boat. I made it all the way to Chickamauga Dam, which is about 8 miles from our marina. And I noticed the boat slowed down a little bit and was thinking there might have been something wrong, so I'm going to go check it out. I went to go take the boat out of gear. It would not come out of gear on the starboard side. So I looked back. I seen smoke bellowing out of the side of the boat from the bilge fans. And my immediate reaction was, the boat's on fire. So I yelled at my wife, told her to drop the anchor quickly while I run down and extinguish a fire possibly. And I opened the engine hatch. It was just such thick smoke in the engine room area. And I genuinely thought there was a fire. However, I had the fire extinguisher in my hands. I was getting ready to spray it down in there, but I wanted to wait till the smoke to clear out just a little bit to see if there was indeed any kind of flames. Didn't see any flames. The smoke kind of cleared out. It came up through the floor and into the cabin. All the smoke detectors were going off. At this point, I was just like, damn it. At least there wasn't a fire, but I knew there was something major wrong with the boat. After we let the smoke clear out, I noticed transmission fluid was everywhere, all over the engine room. Basically what has happened is that starboard transmission severely overheated. I mean badly. And I believe it was due from it slipping. It just boiled the transmission fluid in that one transmission to its popping point, more or less. The vent that goes to the top of the transmission was clogged up. The way the dipsticks go in those transmissions is they go in the tube and you screw it down and it expands a rubber plug, kind of like a wine bottle cork. And there was enough pressure in that transmission, it just went pop that dipstick out and sprayed transmission fluid everywhere. Hot, steaming, smoking, boiling transmission fluid all over the engine room. And that's where the smoke was coming from. So, why did it do this? It made it all the way back from St. Petersburg to Chattanooga, plus some trips around the lake here and there. Why did it all of a sudden fail? The only thing I can think of is I was stressing that transmission just a little bit more, towing the dinghy to the Sail Creek. Now, the transmission that is in the boat that failed is the wrong transmission. It was already replaced once, and after a headache of research on boat transmissions for this boat, the boat is supposed to have what they call the Velvet Drive 72Cs. And somebody replaced the starboard side transmission with what they called a 71C. It is the same family of transmissions. It's just a not as strong version as the 72. So it physically looks the same. I assume they thought, well, it had the right gear ratio. I don't know. I don't know why it has this wrong particular transmission in this boat. I am just counting my blessings that it made it all the way to Chattanooga and didn't break down in the middle of the Gulf or the Tom Bigby. So I'm perfectly okay with fixing this problem more or less in my own backyard versus on the trip up here, or even worse, on the Great Loop. So that's why we're running this boat around, trying to give it a very good shakedown before we take it out. This boat has sat for a long time. It's had lots of hands on it. I am trying to straighten out anything that may be a problem to make this boat completely reliable and good for anybody else who may buy it from us down the road. So since you have seen me last, and since all this has happened, I have found the correct transmission to go back in the boat, which is a Borg-Warner Velvet 72C 1.91 ratio. This transmission was actually located in Indiana, and it was pretty close to where my dad lives, and I had him go pick it up, and we got it back to Chattanooga. The transmission is supposedly rebuilt. I don't really know for a fact if it is or not, but either way, just to nip anything in the butt, I went ahead and bought a rebuild kit for that transmission. All new steels and clutches, seals, you name it. It's the full rebuild kit. So even though that transmission might have been rebuilt and it may be fine, I'm still going to take it apart, and I am going to go through it and rebuild it because I don't want any chance of it failing while we're on the loop. And I'm probably, between now and we go on a loop sometime this summer, I'm probably going to pull the port side transmission out as well and buy this exact same kit and go through that transmission as well. That way the boat just has fresh transmissions in it, and it will not be a worry. On top of that, I'm going to install transmission temp gauges. Learn the importance of those, and get some more functioning gauges on the boat that are very much needed. And also, since you have seen me last, the wife and I have made a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, to the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. This trip was a lot of fun. There is nothing there I can afford. However, we were in Fort Lauderdale, so I was able to hit up some of the marine surplus and salvage yards down there to grab a decent amount of stuff we need for our boat. So here it is, guys, the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. So you could go over and back, or you can twist it. And crash into a pole. Alright, this place is really cool. The guy that owns it's a really awesome guy. I know this is a very popular place amongst YouTubers that I found too as well. And I got some really awesome stuff. This is Marine Connection Liquidators. They have a plethora of new and slightly used boat parts. Most of the stuff came from manufacturers where they were either slightly damaged or just no longer needed. There is so much good quality stuff, it would take you days to go through it all and try to figure out what you need. This was my third or fourth time being here, and it's definitely not going to be my last. We also visited a place called Sailor Man. They have lots of good used boat stuff there, right there in Fort Lauderdale. I picked up a ton of stuff here as well. We had an awful lot of fun in Fort Lauderdale, but that pretty much wraps up this video. I promised to pick up the pace a little. In the next video, you're going to see me do something completely different. You'll enjoy it, I promise. Well guys, I promise to pick up the pace a little bit more. We've had so much going on in the month of October. It was hard for me to edit videos. I got a lot of footage yet of little projects on the boat. I just haven't had time to put videos together for them. So just hang in there. Next week is going to be a pretty interesting video of something completely different. I just want to share it with you guys because it was an awesome experience. And then it's back to hardcore boating. So somewhere down there, smash that like button. Please like it, please comment. The more watch hours I get, the more I'm gonna make interesting videos. That's just how it works. So like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that stuff. Just like you do to all your other favorite YouTubers. I want to grow this channel. You guys are helping me big time to be able to do the things I want to do. I appreciate it, and I will see you next video.